Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to check out my video and my channel. So today's video is going to be a little different from my other videos that I've uploaded. And just to start, this is actually only the third video that I've ever shared on YouTube. My previous videos were of Animal Crossing amiibo unboxings for Series 1 and Series 2. Now, if you're just finding my channel for the first time and finding this video, and you actually like watching amiibo cards being unboxed, I'll put a link in the description below for the Series 1 and Series 2 unboxing. And you guys will actually be able to learn like what my dreamy villagers are and how I made out in unboxing the amiibo cards and who I found. Alright, and I hope you enjoy that video. So now on to today's video and why I'm doing this. So when I uploaded my very first video, I actually shared the link with a couple friends of mine. And I was like, hey guys, do me a favor, be my eyes and my ears, and tell me how I did. And I was actually kind of surprised at the response I got. One of my friends was like, I didn't know you owned a Nintendo Switch or an Animal Crossing game. And my other friend was like, I don't know what an amiibo card is, and I don't know what an Animal Crossing game is. And so I kind of tried to explain like what an island was, what the villagers were, like what you do on a daily basis, and so forth, and the buildings on the island. And they asked me for like some pictures or to do a video, and so they could actually see it. And I was like, yeah, you know something, I could post a video. So guys, here comes the apology. I'm really sorry, but when I purchased my Nintendo Switch, I bought the Switch Lite. It was $100 cheaper. And the thing with the Switch Lite is it's not compatible with a capture card. So when you actually want to record like footage from your Switch, you literally have to have an external camera source. Now, for those of you that watched my other two videos, you already know probably that I'm using my cell phone camera to record my videos. So yeah, what's happening right now is I have my cell phone propped up and I have my Nintendo Switch in my hand. Yeah, I know. I really apologize. It's not professional at all. And guys, do me a favor and be kind in the comments. Be nice. I'm giving you a heads up. I'm by no means a YouTube professional. I just kind of decided to show my unboxing of amiibo cards, and I wanted to show my friends my island tour. And so they can see what it looks like. One of the other things I never did either when I bought my Nintendo Switch and my game for Animal Crossing, I never bought the Nintendo Online subscription. So I cannot have friends come over to my island and I can't go to their island. And then probably the worst thing is there's a lot of really cool people that play the Animal Crossing game that are like amazing island designers, and they create all this really cool custom stuff, and then they share their codes so you can actually download it onto your island. So Grand Union, as you can see by my flag, is the name of my island. And let me just tell you, Grand Union is a plain Jane island. And what I mean by that is literally everything that's on the island is what is in the Animal Crossing game. Other than, I think, this Grand Union flag here, like the design, I actually made that design. That's probably about the best I can do for a design. Other than that, everything else is just what is included in the game itself when you purchase it. So I did do the updates, so I'm kind of current with the game. I was able to play the Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then Toy Day. So that was actually really cool. And yeah, so why don't we get started with the island tour? Here we go. Hello everybody, welcome to Grand Union, where there's always a lot in store for you. So off to my right, you're going to see the seaplane, and that actually drops off passengers here at the Dodo Airline Airport. And you come out, and once you get onto the Grand Union Island, you are again greeted by a branding sign that says Grand Union. And off in the distance, to show that Grand Union has a little bit of luxury, we have a beautiful fountain, so you can hear the water kind of trickling off the fountain there. Let's talk a little bit about this area and like what this represents. So I have the stone wall, I have the lanterns, I have the cherry trees off to the left, and then I have some cedar trees off to the right. So those cedar trees were also originally cherry trees, and this whole area was actually set up to show my native fruit was cherries. And then all along this empty snowy area here was originally a bunch of planted hyacinth flowers in yellow, red, and white. And the hyacinth flower was also my native flower. So this area here, when you came off from the airport, kind of represented, here's my native fruit, here are my native flowers, and this is Grand Union. Welcome to Grand Union. We just got done with Toy Day, so that's why there's some cedar trees over here to the right. Toy Day is like Nintendo's Christmas, and so some of the cedar trees were decorated with like lights and ornaments this year, and they're snow covered because it's wintertime. And I ended up planting a bunch of them around resident services because it kind of made it really festive and made it kind of really enjoyable. So that's kind of why that's there. So before we head off around the island, let's pull up the big island map and I'll show you where all the buildings are and who I have for residents on the island. All right, so I'm going to start on the right-hand side over here, and you can see the little fingers pointing at the building. And then when you look at the map in the very center, you'll see there's a dot that's showing where that building is. So this building here is actually Resident Services, which is just north of the airport. I have the shop, which is our department store. It's called Nook's Cranny. The Tailors is actually Able Sisters, and that's where you can do all your clothing shopping and shopping for shoes, and winter clothing and summer clothing and stuff like that. We have a little bit of culture here on the island. This is our museum. So you can come in and check out like the dinosaur fossils. We have bugs and butterflies and fish and sea creatures. And we now have an art gallery as well as some beautiful statues at the museum. In the upper right-hand corner is our campsite. So this is actually where villagers will come from other islands and actually stay for a day and check out Grand Union and see if it might be an area, an island that they would like to come and actually live on. So, and then last but not least, where we just left is the Dodo Airlines, the airport. All right. There I am, and there's Chuck's house. It is at the very bottom the very bottom center of the map. Dizzy is one of my lazy characters, probably one of the first characters that I invited to Grand Union back from a mystery island, as well as Mary. And I'm really excited to have Mary because I guess she was very sought after over the summer. She was ranked #1 for 1 or 2 weeks. As being the most popular sought after villager. So I've always kept her because I just thought that was really cool. Tom is a cranky villager, and that's why he is up in the back upper right portion. The upper right portion, the center of the map. In the very back, he's on the 3rd tier level of the island. Lopez is one of my best buddies, and that's why he is just to the right of my house. And he is just really, really cool. He's a smug character, and I have to honestly tell you, I'm not really a fan of smug characters, but as you start to talk to them and you start giving them presents and stuff, their dialogue totally changes, and yeah, he's like my best friend. I couldn't imagine him not on my island. Olivia is a snooty character. She has a very hoity-toity, nice house, and she's actually pretty nice, but yeah, she's a snooty character. We have Tammy, who's a sisterly villager, and she is off to the very right portion of the map. Daisy is probably one of the very first normal villagers I've ever met that I actually really like. So if you guys have watched my previous videos, you know that I've had Alice as my first normal villager, and then I had Midge. Midge wasn't much better than Alice, let me tell you. And when both of them came to me and was like, hey, I'm thinking about checking out another island. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, do you need me to give you some moving boxes? Because you can just go right now. I really was not impressed with either one of them. Daisy, on the other hand, she has very similar dialogue, and I just don't know what it is about her. She's just really super cool. I really enjoy having her here. Kurt is a brand new cranky villager. He came in off the campsite, and it's really kind of sad because he replaced Patty that used to live actually where he is right now. Patty had beautiful trees, landscaping, flower gardens right by the river. Her house was absolutely gorgeous. It was like a log cabin. So it was really cool. It was very fitting to be up in like the wooded area near the campsite. And then she wanted to move on to bigger and better things and kind of start a career. And Kurt showed up and moved into her location. And I don't know if anybody has actually seen Kurt's house or has been inside his house. Um, Kurt has a house, but he actually looks like he's homeless when he's inside his house. There's a chain link fence in there. He has a big oil barrel in the middle of his house with fire underneath it filled with water and a sleeping bag on the ground inside his house. And some of his trash from inside the house is like spilling out now like all over the grounds. And we have there's a couple villages that are questioning if there's like some toxic waste now leaking into the river, and I don't really know what's going on. When we get up there, you guys can take a look and tell me what you think. This guy here, his name is Dom, and the reason why he's living on my island is because he is actually one of the 8 brand new villagers that came out and launched with Animal Crossing New Horizon in March of 2020. What's cool with Dom, and cool, not cool, Dom does not currently have an amiibo card attached to him, so the only way you can get him is if he comes to the campsite, you discover him on a mystery island, or a friend of yours has him in boxes, and you're actually part of the Nintendo Online service, so you can go and collect him from the other island and have him come and move to your island. So that's the only way you can really get him on your island. He showed up at my campsite, and I was just like, okay, that's it. You're coming onto my island. It was kind of bittersweet because Sheldon was my very first jock villager, and that's what Dom is. He's a jock villager. And Sheldon actually helped me out when we first moved to the island. Like it was not developed at all. In fact, there was like a ton of wasps in all the trees, and I got stung really bad and was all swollen. And I didn't have any money for medicine. I didn't know the DIY to make medicine. And Sheldon comes along and actually handed me medicine to use, which was really cool. And I really appreciated that. So he was like my best friend after that. Now, the only good thing with Dom moving in and Sheldon moving out, when I did an unboxing of some amiibo cards, I actually found his amiibo. So I'm excited to eventually scan him back into the game because he was one of my starter villagers. And I'm sure most of you know, when you have your 2 starter villagers, they don't actually come in their actual house. They come in like a starter home for the island. So I'm excited to actually see what Sheldon's house really actually looks like inside. And last but not least, we have Rooney. So thank you to Patrick from Nintendo Talk. If you're actually watching my video right now, Patrick, thank you. He actually sent me this amiibo character, which is how I ended up ordering some online and doing a couple of unboxings. I had Rooney come to my island through the campsite. He came on 3 separate occasions. I had to do some crafting projects for him. And then he decided that he wanted to come and live on Grand Union. And so he actually replaced Pippi, who is in the same location where Rooney is right now. And so those are my characters that I have living on my island. All right, guys. Are we ready to start the tour? So my beaches are kind of empty. I have a surfboard and I have some wood loungers out. We still have a sandcastle from earlier in the year that was built. And then I have a life preserver out just in case somebody's out in the water and they're drowning. But you can see here, I actually have a ton of snow up in the palm trees. It's wintertime here, so it's kind of cold. And I don't really have a lot going on my beaches. Again, I have another screen with my Grand Union branding sign, so you know you're on Grand Union. This is the Able Sisters here. This is where you can buy your clothing and your shoes. and kind of decorated around here, and kind of what's fun out back here. There's some shipping cartons out here and a trash can, so it kind of makes it look like, they're actively receiving shipments, which is kind of neat. Over near the water feature is actually a really nice espresso cappuccino bar. So for my villagers that are coming to resident services, they actually can come and have a nice hot cup of coffee or cappuccino, stand here and look at the beautiful fountain. If they get hungry, they can nibble on some popcorn. And when they get tired, they can actually come over here and sit down at the table and chairs, which actually, surprisingly, I find my villagers using actually quite a bit. So here is resident services. You can see my Grand Union flag flying off to the right. And this was originally a tent that was here on the island it was all surrounded by dirt. And Tom Nook, who's the founder of the Dream Island Getaway, not the Dream Island Getaway, but your Island Getaway package, used to come out here every day, and he would stand at the microphone and he would do morning announcements until they actually built resident services. And Isabel actually stays inside now and does all the morning announcements. But I left this microphone out here to kind of commemorate when Tom used to come out here and actually do the morning announcements. What I find really cool is a lot of residents come down here, a lot of villagers come down here to resident services, and they hang out in this area and just kind of chill and enjoy themselves. And when they're really happy, they actually come over to the microphone and they start singing their favorite song, which I think is really cute. So, and this is the beach that's right in front of my house. There's Tom and Kurt. This was the little tent that I got from one of my villagers at Christmas time, and I just kind of put it out on the beach so it wasn't so empty. And I'm thinking one of these guys probably built a sandcastle, kind of enjoy themselves. This here is my sleigh that I actually got as a gift for actually giving out gifts to all my villagers for Toy Day that we just recently had. So I just kind of set that up in front of my house as well. And then here we go. Here is my house, guys. Set up with a blue roof. I got my Christmas wreath on the door. And yeah, I know. Fall is over. Halloween is over. Autumn harvest is over. But guys, seriously, you can make a lot of money with these pumpkins. So you water them like each day, and on the third day you end up with 3 pumpkins on each plant. And when you harvest them, you can take them to Nook's Cranny and make some pretty serious money. So I found that to be like one of the easier ways to actually make some money here on Grand Union, at least. So it certainly is a lot better than trying to buy turnips on Sunday morning and then worrying every day of the week, morning and afternoon, to see what the turnip prices are and see if you can actually turn a couple bucks to, sell the turnips at a higher price, which I never really had good luck with. So, all right, so from here, let's head off to the west side of the island. Daisy's house is here off to the left. And there's Tammy. And there's the balloon that's just kind of floating over the entire island during my tour. This is my best buddy here. This is Lopez's house, which is really kind of cool. Sorry, guys. And there's Rooney. And this is Tammy's house here. And you'll notice, as you kind of see, like, around the houses, I tried to actually coordinate, like, the color of the flowers to actually coordinate somewhat with either the roof or the siding of the house. So this was originally where Alice and Midge lived, and their homes both had some blue in it, if I remember correctly. That's why I kind of have the orange and blue flowers here. So that's kind of why that's the way it is. And this is the southwest corner of my island. This is where the fishing dock is. We have a nice bonfire over here, as well as some more log loungers and a surfboard, and also a life preserver just in case anybody's out in the water drowning, We don't want that to happen here at Grand Union. Being right by the ocean, right along the beach line, this is actually where my citrus grove is. And you can see I actually had some villagers out earlier packing up some oranges in boxes, because we're going to be shipping them off to other islands soon. All right. This pathway here actually takes you out to the campsite. So we're going to walk along this area and eventually go check out the campsite. I do have to say, though, it is actually, yeah, look at that. It's cold. Hang on, being up here out in the woods, I'm definitely kind of chilly. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, I'm feeling a little warmer now. Let's go for a walk through the woods. So I kind of just created a path. There's weeds and flowers along the way. It's all cedar trees up in this area because it's very heavily wooded. This area up here, I never knew what to do with on the 3rd level. And I decided I wanted to still keep like a little bamboo garden or a little Zen garden. And so I put the stone arch up here with a well. I have a really pretty water feature over here. I find my villagers up here sitting sometimes on the bench. And then I have this really cool gong. Oh yeah. And this is really pretty at night because I have the lanterns. So the area's like has soft lighting, which is really cool. So off to the right is the west side beach, and there really isn't anything over there at all, so I'm not going to go down there. In the very back right corner is a satellite dish. The villagers wanted better TV reception for their homes, so let's see as I get out here. Oh, you might not even be able to see it. Yep, there it is off to the... You can see it off to the right here. But this is my campsite, so you can cook some food here. There's an extra sleeping bag. Usually this is where the tent is set up, right here on top of the wood deck. There's a little campfire with some stools, so you can toast some marshmallows and tell ghost stories at night. And yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure that water jug that's right there, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's frozen. But luckily there is a well here, so you can get some water. There's also an outhouse. And then if you're looking for something to do while you're up here, you can do some fishing. Now, if you do happen to bring your kids with you when you're camping, there is a really fun little playground area here just below the campsite. And you'll notice too, I'm sure when I've been walking around, I haven't pointed them out, but I put a bunch of these log benches around so people can actually sit down and kind of relax and enjoy the area. And somebody must have been reading out here at some point, left their book out here. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys can figure out whose house this is. We have a broken microwave. There's a summertime flamingo out here. Some boxes, trash. His sock. He's left a sock outside. There's a couple tires laying around. A bale of hay. Oh, and this is probably... Maybe that's that toxic waste that all my villagers keep talking about. They're worried is leaking into the water. It's like it's got some oozy trash bags here. I'm not sure. He's not home, is he? Yeah, he's not there. I'd like you guys to see his house sometime. It's pretty amazing. All right. So this area here used to actually originally be my Zen bamboo garden, and I actually turned it into my apple orchard. And they got some apples being harvested and packed up in boxes to ship out. At one point before we had snow, somebody was out mowing the lawn. And I guess summertime and landscaping is done for the season, so. Over here we have Tom's house. And off in the background is Red's fishing trawler, which is now his art gallery. Yeah, guys, so as I said, pumpkins, yeah, they're kind of the way to go as far as making money. And I had originally watched somebody on YouTube just before the Halloween event, and he made a giant pumpkin patch, and I kind of did the same thing, and then realized we actually didn't really need these giant pumpkin patches. This here is Dom's house. Off to the right here is Mary's house, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but you know, the main area of my island has stone pathways, and then as you kind of branch off and go out into the island, it turns into like dirt pathing, and it gets a little bit smaller. This here is Dizzy's home. Oh gosh, look at Dizzy. Dizzy's a lazy character, and he loves food, and he's got himself some, I know this is a German New Year's treat, but they're very similar to a jelly donut, which Dizzy loves jelly donuts, and I have to say, I agree. I love myself some jelly donuts too. Hey, look at that. I found the money spot, guys. I'll have to remember to come back and dig that up. So if you plant money there, money bag there, you'll actually end up with a money tree, which is really cool. So this whole area here, I did take out my flowers. I ended up... just didn't think they looked right during the winter time. It was all, this whole area was all filled with mums originally. The only flowers I kind of really kept was right in front of the museum with the other fountain and the park benches. I thought they looked really cool. So when you come out of the museum, you can come and sit down at the park bench and check out the flowers and look at the water feature. This here is Nook's Cranny, and again, it was really kind of cool behind Nook's Cranny. You got the trash can and the trash bags, and you have the boxes, kind of like a shipping area, receiving area. There's a soda machine here. We have a gasoline, kerosene dispenser for the animals that want to have heat in their house, need to have some heating fuel. Bubblegum machine, and then of course a little kiddie ride over here. Off over here, again, another Grand Union branding sign. Oh, somebody was out sewing earlier. They left their sewing box out here. That's kind of cool. And then this is Rooney's house. Now originally this was Pippi's house, which was kind of a creamy yellow color with a bright blue roof. And again, that's kind of why I have blue and yellow flowers here right now. That was the color of Pippi's house. And I just haven't replaced the flowers with Toy Day, and we just had a Thanksgiving event before that where we had Franklin come out. And I think probably the last house that I haven't shown is Olivia's house here. And then off in the distance is Dizzy's house again, over that little bridge. But Olivia's house has a purple roof, so I decided to do all the purple flowers, which were like super hard to... they were really hard to get. Like, I wasn't really good about planting flowers together to actually get the purple flowers, so I actually enjoy the fact that I was able to get them and actually put them out and put them to good use. Alright guys, I think that's everything. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed my island tour and kind of enjoyed checking everything out. And thanks for watching my video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think if you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry if I was moving this around or it made it difficult for you guys to kind of focus and watch. Again, I did the best I could. So, but please like the video if you wouldn't mind. If you liked it, leave a comment below. Positive vibes are always appreciated. And if you're interested in subscribing to my channel so you can see what I do in the future on here for content and stuff, feel free to subscribe. Alright guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I will talk to you soon. Alright, until then, thanks for coming and checking out Grand Union. Bye.